Again, hi everybody. This lightning talk, I would like to talk about code reviews a little bit. Let's start with some motivation. Why we do code reviews? I would start with a joke. You might know this cartoon, and what's the point? Basically, because every one of us developers have different tastes, different approaches to solving the problems, and we all do stuff differently. So we somehow have to agree in the end on how we go on about solving the issues and getting the software done. Uh, in details, code reviews are nowadays industry standard. Basically, everybody does them, every company does them, and the end goal is to make code much better. The idea behind this that if multiple people take a look at the same code, it's easier for them to spot the mistakes and figure out how to improve the code. We can also have some more extreme approaches to the same thing, which follow the same paradigm. Basically, you can have pair programming when two people are working on the code base together, so they can contribute the ideas in real time and not once in a while when code is being merged, or even something more extreme, like mob programming, when you have one guy writing the code and mob behind him that is telling him what to do and complaining about what he did. So, what are the advantages of the code reviews? In general, it is really helpful to have them if you are doing some onboarding process. If you have a company and you have a new guy that is coming on board, and you want to show him all the pieces of a large project. And when he submits some code, you take a look and point him to, well, this problem was already solved. You can use this library that we have there. This piece could be done much better because we already have this engine here that is doing something similar and stuff like that. Also, where I really appreciate code reviews is when I'm doing something out of my comfort zone. For example, if I'm writing some JavaScript code, I'm not a front-end developer, I really appreciate review from my skilled colleagues because I always learn something new about JavaScript and how to do stuff better. So, yeah, in general, when you are learning something new, and you are looking for hints how to do something better in the language, it's really good to submit some code and discuss it with somebody who has much more insight and much more experience. Similarly, when you are facing some difficult problem and you have no idea how to go around about it, it's a good idea to write some proof of concept or some pieces of code and submit it for peer review, basically to figure out whether it is good approach, whether somebody has some better idea and stuff like that. So basically, if you are unsure about how to solve something, it's good to start with something and discuss over the code, not just in abstract terms, because yeah, well, code is much more concrete and much easier to discuss technical stuff in code than in abstract terms. Apart from those pros, you most likely already met some of the cons of the code reviews. Like, this is not a real comment. I paraphrased a few of the comments that I've seen. And basically, our goal is to make a code better, but we are just making code that is agreed to be better by multiple people. It might help, but in the end, you might end up arguing about about the length of the comments and about tense of the comments and stuff like that. Sometimes about variable names, and sometimes about whether to use for cycle or while loop or for loop. And you can waste up a lot of time arguing about tiny details and completely miss the important bug. Why is that? Basically, the reviewers have a lot of power. They are deciding whether your code goes in or not. And it's up to them to decide whether they will be polite or abusive, whether they will cut you some slack, or whether they will go on and nitpick on every detail of your code and basically drive you away. And apart from that, because it's not in the code, but it's the reviews are in general language, it's not only about what is technically better, but about also who is better at arguing. Because I already seen in past that somebody got his code accepted just because he was so persistent that the reviewer finally gave up and just merged it to make him happy. And on the other hand, I've seen code that was not accepted because basically reviewer was so silly and picky that basically contributor went away. So are there any alternative approaches how to do the code merging? I would like to speak about one of them that I found really interesting, and that's an alternative approach by Peter Hitchens. And basically, it's every pull request has to solve some real problem. You can't merge your pull requests, and pull requests have to pass automatic test. What it does in the end is contributors find it rewarding. You get your code merged really fast. And you can't do big disruptive changes because it takes time to prepare them, and because the code base is always moving, you will have to rebase it. And basically, you give up after a few rebases because it takes too much time, and you don't have lifetime to get it through. And one big advantage is if something breaks, it can be fixed really fast. Could something like that work in enterprise? I think that in enterprise, we have a little bit different environment. People are paid to do the work, so they don't mind if somebody breaks their future pull request, and they don't mind rebasing over and over again. And they don't feel the pain as easily as open source contributors, so they are not chased away so easily. And they are wasting somebody else's time, so they are paid to do so they don't mind doing it over and over again. And in general, they are not scratching their own itch, so they don't know that much about the problem, and they are not trying to solve the problem. They are just trying to somehow get away with it. I think my time is almost up, so a few pointers. I would like to basically remind you to be nice to each other when you are doing code reviews, not to abuse your power. Think about what the other guy is feeling, and try to be nice to him, and not nitpick on everything. Be open to other solutions and to other approaches to the same problem. And I also would like to recommend you to read something about how ZeroMQ community works and how they are merging their code base and how they work even without the code reviews. Thank you very much. And read the links. Thank you.